And we're live. Hello, my naysayers. I love you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. So, as you can see, my new cute little avatar. That's what you guys are gonna see today because, yeah, I've been working all day today, and yeah. So, and today wasn't like an on-camera kind of day, so it was either spend more time getting cute before you get on camera or just go ahead and get this done because you're behind already. So I'm going to just do the latter. And then, in the next couple videos, y'all get to see me again. But today, we're going to have a little podcast capacity. So today, we are reviewing Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 7 and 8. Because, like I told y'all, I am a little behind. So we got to get caught up. So I'm going to, for the next couple videos, I'm going to combine one or two videos because, like I said, I'm a little behind. And instead of like making all these extra videos, like, what, we just going to combine them. Because honestly, between two episodes, a lot doesn't really happen sometimes. So, we just, going to get it done. So, anywho, we're going to start with episode 7, which aired not this past Monday, but the Monday before that. And this episode opens up with Spice having a premiere party with Shaggy. And Sean Paul wasn't at the party, but he's also on the song that Spice and Shaggy were debuting, and I was really happy to see it and proud. And I'm like, yay, girl, because it actually feels good to see someone come on the show to get exposure and elevate their career, and they actually get exposure and elevate their career. So that's what's up. Also, Spice has moved her kids to Atlanta, and that's what's up because oftentimes we see people who move to start a career and they leave their kids behind for whatever reason, and then they just kind of leave their kids behind. So, again, shout out to Spice actually doing what she said she was going to do. Um, Rashida and Yandy discuss their parental issues, and Yandy yet again brings up Infinity. And thankfully, Spice interrupts this unnecessary ass convo while she's carried in by beautiful men. And I'm like, yes, because honestly, like, I'm tired of you constantly wanting everybody to make you feel better about this situation, Yandy. Just call it what it is. You feel guilty that you picked your husband over your new daughter, and you want everybody in your circle to make you feel better about it. But just stop it, call it for what it is, and just accept it and move the fuck on. So anyway, like I said, Spice is carried in by these beautiful muscular men on the throne to perform with Shaggy, and I was like, yes, go Shaggy, go Shaggy, go Spice. And so then we see Safari. He's there as well with Sierra and Carly and Carly's daughter. And I'm like, okay, Carly, you better be bringing your daughter in on the bag because she been on the last couple of episodes and she was on the family reunion show. So I'm like, okay, girl. And Sierra basically said what me and everybody else is thinking, like, damn, Safari, you show kicking it, you show out and about for you to have a baby on the way and a baby at home and a wife, but okay. Okay. So then we see Spice again, and she has her new boo named Justin, who is actually a member of the production team. And I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, get it how you live. A lot of people meet at work. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. Now, I was not feeling that nasty ass kiss. I could have kept that shit, but whatever. So then we have Amaretta and her sister. They go to her dad's grave site, which is where Amaretta often goes when she wants, to just have a moment and clarity and those type of things. And just a side note, I feel like Amaretta has like the best wig game on the show. Like I feel like her wigs be really on point. But anyway, then we're back to Safari and Scrappy and BK. They meet up to throw axes. And BK tells them that Sierra allegedly pawned her engagement ring for bracelets and rollies. And I'm like, honestly, did you really spend that much money, BK? Like, but again, we did see her at the jewelry store, but for some reason, I'm just getting like that shit didn't cost that much tease. But again, whatever. So, let's see. Okay, then Scrappy is pretending that he wants to release a new album, and I don't understand why. Like, as long as you've been on reality TV, I don't know anyone who's been like, "Hey, Scrappy, when your next album?" Because I don't think we really give a fuck. Like, I think you're cool as a personality. I think you can offer your expertise in other ways. I think you should, I don't know, maybe start your own label. But as far as you being the new person coming out with new music and stuff. Like, no, we good on that, Scrappy. Like Money in the Bank and some cut, them couple hits you got from back in the day, like my high school days. I'm good with that. Like, I would love for you to come out on a tour and do them couple songs you did. I'm gonna be lit. I'm gonna be crunk, as we used to say back in the day when you was popping. So I mean, it's cool. Like again, you could like judge some shit. You can get your own label. You can just continue the reality show lifestyle. You should treat your wife a little better, but we'll get to that later. But my point is, we don't need a new album, Scrappy. So yeah. So then Scrappy mentions a Miami trip that he actually does not want Erica to go on with him, although that was the plan initially. So I'm like, mm, mm, that just it just go from bad to worse, child. So then Jock is at a celebration for Ahmaud Arbery, who was fatally shot by I can't remember if it was one or two white guys. I felt like it was two white guys, but he was the one that was, and that's a shame to say like that he was the one because it's been so many, but oh, fix it Jesus. But anyway, he was the black man that was gunned down for jogging, trying to stay healthy and be fit and do what we're often told to do so that we can have a long life, and his was cut short because he was doing that. Like, just tragic, but I ain't gonna go there because I ain't trying to come off emotional and all of that. So anyway, so they're at a celebration for his birthday, and Yandy took little Mendices with her, and I'm like, I love their relationship, and it really does seem like she really does love those kids, meaning what's his name, Mendices, extra kids and stuff like that, and accepts them. But it's just so sad that you're married to a fuck nigga that refuses to even entertain the idea of accepting your outside child, also known as infinity and beyond. So then we have Jocko mention his son Amani and how he's currently wayward and hanging with the man who actually started the shootout at his club that has since been shut down. And he's saying that Amani is very hard to get through to. And I'm like, honestly, I hope that I know people ain't don't think as deep as me. God just made my brain like just like a black hole, like it just layers of deepness for no reason. But my thing is, I hope people really like are looking at this for what it really is. While y'all sitting up here thinking this shit with Nick Cannon is funny and Future and Moneybagg Yo and all these other people who out here and Lil Wayne, all these other rappers that just have children everywhere and think because they got a couple bags that it's okay. Like, you see that when these kids get grown, like Amani is, or damn near grown, it's very hard to get through to them. It doesn't matter how many checks you may or may not have sent. It doesn't matter how much time you may or may not have spent. It's the fact that you were not a staple in his upbringing. That's why, just like he told us on the family reunion, and now he's not really trying to hear what you're talking about because you was out making, like you told us on this episode, you had what, three or four other kids within a year after him, or he was already here and then you had three or four kids within a year, like whatever. The point is, that's a lot of that shit right there contributed to the fact that now you lay hands on this nigga in the club because you feel disrespected and you his father and you want him to respect you, and I understand that, but at the same time you weren't really there for him like that to establish that at a young age. And the fact that his mama worked the way she works now, I'm pretty sure she been working that way. So who the entire fuck was raising this young man? And so now he out here looking for love in the wrong places and making decisions you don't like and fucking your bag up, and now you want to fight him. So it's like, all I'm saying is, I hope y'all really seeing the effects of having kids all over the place and how that shit actually turns out when they get grown. It ain't pretty. So anyway, then we meet Ahmad's mom, and it was very touching. And I was like, wow, she is very strong. And man, it was definitely an emotional moment for me. So then, let's see. So then we have Sierra, Bambi, and Erica. They have brunch, and Erica tells on herself that she should have just kept quiet about her pregnancy, like she was doing. And I'm like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, because I knew that ass was lying. I knew your ass knew you was pregnant at least for 2 months, and you just couldn't get the courage to reveal it to your husband and everybody else because you know he's a fucking asshole, and that it was probably going to end up just how it's ended up. So, anywho, Erica and Bambi basically commiserate about how they're both pregnant as hell again for these niggas that don't do right by them, and how they're basically ready to throw in the towel and file for the D word. And I'm like, well, holla at me. I would be happy to mediate y'all divorces. But on the other side, I just want y'all to either shit or get off the pot, to be completely honest. I've never been married, I've never had children. So I'm not qualified to tell somebody what to do. You see what I'm saying? But just from my humble opinion and as my expertise as a family mediator who handles divorces, I would just like to say that all of this back and forth isn't going to get you anywhere. That's one thing that I do know. So if you guys are, throwing around the idea of getting divorced, you might want to at least separate for a little while to see if that's something that may need to happen. Because one thing I've learned from my own relationships is that, and from those around me, is that oftentimes we feel like sticking it out with somebody and being in somebody's face every day and just going through the motions is the way to see if you can work. But in my humble opinion, actually taking some time apart is the way to see if you can work, because then you both get to move about the cabin freely and do what you want to do and be who you want to be. And then that way both of you get to operate from that space, and it gives you both the opportunity to see if you actually like that person as an individual and not just as a person that you're connected to. So that was some free advice for y'all right there. Moving on. So anyway, yeah, so blah blah blah, pregnant, da, 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 da. Oh, and also, ladies, just a minor sidebar. Again, I've never been married or had children yet, but what I will say is I have definitely been in the dating game for quite some time, and I will also say that one thing I've learned is that giving making men your king isn't the move. I'm not saying that having a great man and treating him like the king that he presents himself to be is not the move. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is these men who don't present themselves like kings, like I'm talking about NDRE type shit king. Like if you want to know what I mean by king, holla at NDRE. He is the truth. Man, he is so real, and I love the way he makes me feel. And in that other song, it's another song she got. I don't want to say it's fairly new, but if you would need some king definitions, holla at NDRE. So anyway, for these men that don't show up as such, I need us women to stop being doormats and rugs and punching bags and whatever else adjective you want to use for somebody basically shitting on your whole existence because of their fucking drama. That's something that we as women, including myself, 10 times over, we do. We take on these men because they like us and they love us and they want this and they want that. But what we have to realize is they don't always be about what they be talking about. Not because they're ill intentioned, but because they just don't really understand what it really takes oftentimes for these things that we want. We are the ones that are taught to, heal from a relationship and learn about ourselves and take time and do this and, just explore and learn. They taught to just be the fuck out here. They're also taught that it's okay to run through women and just have it your way, like it's fucking Burger King, and then go on to the McDonald's line. Like that's why oftentimes women like Erica and Bambi find themselves in these positions because, oh well, he married me. Like Erica said a couple episodes ago to his mom, like, you know how it was when we first got together. He was like this, he was like that. Yeah. Yeah, they always like that at first because they like you and they can't believe you giving them the time of day. But then it's like oftentimes, just like with Erica and with Bambi, it's like now you bite off more than you can chew. Scrappy, the same person that was begging Bambi a season or two ago for our second baby. Then we look up and now she having a third. But you the same nigga that feel like it's okay for you to leave home for days at a time because you just so musically inclined and you gotta follow the beat and shit. Get the fuck out of here, Scrappy. Get the fuck out of here. What you should have known was before you kept putting all them babies in Bambi, what that came with. But like I said, ladies, men don't think like that. That's why they made birth control for women and not men, because they ain't built for that type of responsibility. And I hate to say it, but it's the fucking truth. So moving forward, ladies, have some empowerment, have some non-negotiables, have some class about yourself and have things in order how you want them to be in order before you try to let a man throw you off and make you be what he wants you to be. If you don't want to have a whole bunch of kids, don't get with a man that want a whole bunch of kids and then get with this nigga and have a whole bunch of kids and then be complaining about the fact this nigga left you with a whole bunch of kids. I'm just saying, okay, so we gonna get up off of that. So then we have Moretta and her mom. They make up, and I'm gonna wear this photo shoot, and I'm really glad. Then we're back to did I say Scrappy? Yeah, Scrappy and Bambi. They then have a blow up, and I'm just hella triggered. I'm just like, first of all, I just be really triggered by men talking to their wives and they women like that. First of all, because I just, it's like that's just something I've never been really attracted to in a man. Like, and really, because I mean, again, I've had my effed up relationships and stuff like that, but one thing I've never really been like okay with that's always been kind of like a real instant deal breaker is like a man with a temper, a man that like, you know, will yell at me. Like that's just very scary for me because I feel like if you'll yell at me aggressively, you'll like hit me or push me or something, and like that opens up a child. So anyway, yeah, that exchange that Scrappy and Bambi had at um Bambi's store, it really didn't sit well with me. And Scrappy just came off very disrespectful, very cold, very dismissive. And again, I'm not saying that this is like Team Bambi, Bambi didn't do nothing wrong or whatever like that. But what I'm saying is, from what I saw, I just felt very triggered by Scrappy's behavior, especially having a pregnant wife for the third fucking time and just refusing to. It's like I noticed that about Scrappy. Like he's really like a very immature man. Like he refuses to accept responsibility for anything. It's like he has these moments of clarity and respect for Bambi, and it's like, oh, okay, Scrappy gets it. That's what's up. But then we end up right back here with this type of shit. So again, girl, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, you can call me. You know, send me an email, whatever. We could do a free consultation. I will be more than happy, more than happy, more than happy to handle y'all divorce or marital mediation. I do that too. If y'all decide y'all want to stay married and just kind of renegotiate some things, holla at me too. So anyway, we're back with Spice and her new boo and her home and her kids. And her boo suddenly turns me off because how the fuck do you get with the queen of dance hall and then now you telling her because she got a man she can't be the queen of dance hall no more? Like, where the fuck do they do that exactly? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And that for me would definitely be a deal breaker because I cannot be controlled. That's like one of the like I really feel like I'm claustrophobic and I feel like that's like physically and figuratively. Like I just really being like just I can't do something like oh my gosh, it can be something I don't even want to do. But just because now I can't do it, like I'm just so butthurt about that. So that would definitely be something that I couldn't even fathom trying to entertain when it comes to my mate. Like you met me as A and now you want me to be B. Like what? So I don't know how that's gonna work out. Hopefully it's just, for a storyline. He's a producer, he knows how these things work. Maybe he just, doing this for the cameras. I hope so, because if not, you crazy as hell. So then we're back to Jock and his son. They're shooting hoops and having a father son meeting or whatnot again about the whole shootout thing. And Amani basically isn't here for it, and he pretty much storms off and flicks off. I don't know who he was flicking off exactly. I don't know if it was us or Jock or production. I don't know, but he flicked off some damn body. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of that episode. Hey, okay, so now we're starting episode 2. I guess I should time stamp or something. Let me see. I'm gonna say 1850. I'll do that in the description box because I'm a YouTuber now and I gotta do shit like that. Okay, cool. So now we are discussing episode 8 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay, so then we open up with Safari and his weak ass meeting up with Trick Daddy Dollars in Miami, and I was kind of confused at first because I was like, "Damn, is this the Miami episode?" But I was like, "Nah, Mona like to merge and shit, so this is Atlanta." But Safari is in Miami because, like we discussed in last episode, he uninvited Erica to the trip, and so then yeah, so she's not there. So anyway, Trick Getty reveals how misogynistic he actually is yet again, talking about women are held to a higher standard and that he just needs to get whatever out of his system. And a couple of little hussies walked by and he's like, "Yeah, you see how easy it is?" And I'm like, Trick, if you out, I'm just keeping real with y'all. Trick, you look like the fucking Mucinex monster, okay? And I just don't understand. Like, I know that you Trick Daddy. Like, you got a name, you've had a name, you always gonna have a name. But Trick, you the last motherfucker out here, and nobody, no matter how drop dead gorgeous you may be, should be out here misogynistic, chauvinistic, having people fucked up, being disrespectful, whatever. But especially ones that look like you. And I'm not even, a shallow person like that, and I don't like to talk about people's looks because I don't think it's very nice. But I'm just saying because Trick Daddy, you got a lot of fucking nerve. And I'm also reflecting on that video that surfaced a few months ago when you were like harassing this chick that you allegedly paid $20 to get in the club and she didn't want to fuck with you. Like, Trick, you need to sit the fuck down somewhere. You the old nigga in the club now, okay? If nobody ever told you that, I'm telling you that. You the old nigga in the club, so if you're going to be there, you need to be cool. And if you do get a bitch in the club, just do it at the kindness of your heart and go on somewhere, okay? No one wants your old ass, your old creepy looking ass pulling on them and yelling at them, trying to make them fuck you, okay? It's not what's up. So anyway, then young baby Tate re-enters the chat and she gets a spiritual reading for clarity from one of her homegirls, and she finds out that her bag has longevity and that she needs to take her power back in relationships. And I'm like, you go, girl. You go, girl. That's what we all want to hear, is that our bag is long and that we need to be empowered. You know what I'm saying? And then once we hear we need to be empowered, we want to hear the good job. You empowered. You know what I'm saying? So you're on the right track. You're on the right track. So then we see Yandy and Mendices. They go to Mendices' apology dinner that he held for Yandy because he told her on the family reunion spinoff, or no, on the couples relationship. What is that show? Because I didn't actually watch it. I just watched some of my YouTube friends' reviews of the show. But it was the couples show that she and Mendices and Delicious and the guy from the Exonerated Five, I can't think his name, Santana or something like that, and Blanco Blackson, like the show that they had that the couples were on, and AJ Johnson was hosting and stuff like that. He told her that he didn't know if he would be able to hold her down if the roles were reversed, meaning she had gone to jail instead of him. And Twitter and Instagram and social media, everything blew up because, oh my gosh, man, DC's, how can you say that? And my thing is, I'm trying to figure out why y'all surprised. First of all, I'm surprised he was honest. So I was actually giving him some kudos. And then secondly, I'm trying to figure out why y'all surprised. First of all, most men don't do that. That's why Papoose is Papoose. That's why Papoose is a tagline. Papoose is a goal. Papoose is that nigga to a lot of us because you don't really hear about men sticking by women when they in jail, and that's on period. Hell, Remy even told us that. She was like, it was very rarely visiting hours and men were there visiting their women. Very rarely. And that's just a sign of how life is. Just like Trick said earlier, men oftentimes are, and this is not a nigga bashing session, but I'm just letting y'all know what time it is. Men oftentimes feel like women are held to a certain standard. Men, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna have multiple women, I'm gonna have two families, whatever the case is. But if their woman was to do it, it would be like death. Even D.L. Hughley said that. D.L. Hughley had a whole outside child on his wife. But he the same man that say like he don't even know if he can forgive his wife if she cheated on him. So it's like I just need people to understand that there are differences between men and women. We're all human, but at the same time, how we're wired, how we think, what motivates us, what keeps us motivated, all of those things are different in men and women. And I just feel like the more that we learn about ourselves and each other, the better off we'll be, and we'll have, I feel like, better cohabitation habits. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. So anyway, Yandy's all like, oh, so I'm gonna ask you the question again. Would you hold me down? And of course, him and his tight teeth ass is like, of course I hold you down. And I'm like, it's like I really am sick of looking at y'all. Like, can y'all go back to New York and just be on that show, and then when that show start filming, don't be there no more? Because it's like, honestly, I liked you better than DC's when you were behind bars. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about black men being free and shit, but it's like I'm not impressed with you Mendices. Like, I know you keep throwing parties and buying cars and doing this and doing that to try to show us that you a great man and that it was worth Yandy holding you down and paying your child support and taking care of your outside kids and shit. But I'm still not fucking impressed. But you ain't my husband, so it don't matter. So anyway, and also I felt like this was a distraction from the whole infinity situation. You know that she really, as much as she try to put on, because she's still gonna hold you down, and because she your wife, and she, the trap queen, to be honest, because we all know you about that life, and you one of them. Don't get me wrong, and don't get me wrong. Ain't no judgment, but the thing is, you talking to a woman who used to be a future drug dealer girlfriend. Okay, okay, I was gonna be the high powered attorney with the fly ass drug dealer. Okay, but see, over time, you learn and you realize that that is not the way. Okay, some women, unfortunately, don't learn that, and I feel like that's exactly what Yandy Smith Harris is. She is the ultimate drug dealer girlfriend that her man went to jail, because typically the man with the weight go to jail, and she held that motherfucker down, and now he's out, and she trying to make sure everything around him is cool while they walk around in their fur coats and they Gucci and gold, because she held him down and she sat on the bag and she kept recreating the bag. So when he came home, they could be living how they live. And these folks have been on like 5 shows since Mendeecees done got back home. I ain't mad. Get your bag, move forward in life. You see what I'm saying? Just like Remy Ma, she came out, she winning out here. I'm all about reformation and coming out better than you went in. But at the same time, we still not gonna pretend like Mendeecees ain't shit nigga. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And honestly, Mendeecees, the only reason why we take you seriously as a man is because of Yandy. Okay? And the reason why we don't take you seriously is because of Mendeecees, but that's a whole nother thing. Moving on. So then we have Young Jock and Armani's mom. They're having a co-parent convo. And I really appreciate the realness and vulnerability that Armani's mom, and I'm sorry I don't have her name. I really appreciate how she was, real with Jock. Because the thing is, oftentimes, being, especially when they have so many kids and so many baby mamas, and they be a hoe on top of that, and they be, successful in their own right and have different things going on. Oftentimes, there is lost from them about what really goes on day to day with their children. And I really appreciate his mom really just letting him know, like, look, yes, Armani is not in the best headspace, and I do worry about him, but at the same time, like, it's a reason why he's not just that receptive to you and what you're trying to teach him. And like I said from last episode, like, I really hope that people really are seeing what carrying on and creating all of these random families and stuff means. Just like she said, we needed you in this family while you was out creating other families and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot. And the thing is, you have a demanding schedule because you're a rapper, you're a radio host, and all the other things you do. And then you got hella kids and hella baby. It's not even just hella kids, because it'd be one thing if all the kids was in one place, but you got hella kids everywhere. That's why Nick Cannon can miss me with the stupid shit. Like, every time he make an explanation, every time he do an interview, I want to slap him harder, because you're a fucking selfish asshole idiot. Period. I don't care what you're talking about. You got all these kids in different area codes, and it's one you. Period. It's one fucking you. One you. And it's gonna be so much shit that you're gonna miss out on when it comes to those kids, whether it's a fucking play, whether it's an Easter speech, whether it's a doctor's appointment, whether it's whatever the fuck it is. It's gonna be so much that you miss out on while you out here. And that's what y'all fail to realize. That's what y'all, and I don't understand how y'all can't look around and see how many poor little rich kids it is in this world who parents had money, parents had status, parents had clout, but they weren't fucking there. And then they get grown and they either resent their parents, or they all out on drugs, or it doesn't end well. So I really hope that y'all really peeping how doing that type of shit turns out when the motherfuckers get of age. Moving on. So then young baby Tate, she tells us that she's bi when we meet her out on her date with her girlfriend. Well, not her girlfriend, I'm sorry. She's out on a date with a young lady who has done her hair before. And I was like, okay, young baby Tate, full of surprises. Okay. So then we have Erica and Bambi commiserating yet again. Bambi comes over after Erica and Safari's house is allegedly burglarized. And to be honest, again, not trying to overstep or judge or speak out of turn. However, I never believed that shit, and I still don't. Even with them videos, who the fuck? And if it is true, the question still remains the same. Who the fuck robs some high profile people in broad daylight in a bright red ass coat? I'm just saying, because I don't know, it just seemed real hired help to me type shit. It just seemed real. My man's not home. I need to shake his tail feather and get him home and make him feel like, oh my gosh, my wife and my kids are not safe. I need to get home. And then unfortunately for Erica, that shit didn't work. But again, who am I? That's just how it feels to me. So again, they going back and forth complaining about how sucky their husbands are and how they pregnant again for these niggas and they don't appreciate them. And again, I'm bored. So then the gang is in Dubai for again DC's new marriage. And I'm like, so is this the real marriage or not? And I'm so excited that after all these episodes, the queen, Mama D, will be showing up and will be stirring up and asking for the answers to the questions we all want to know next week, trying to figure out if they actually married or if they're not. Because my thing is, last time I had heard, they were not. But again, I could see Yandy doing a real switcheroo, presto, changeo, getting them paper signed right before he get out or once the coast is clear. But you know, we gonna see. So anyway, then we have Kirk and Rashida. Well, excuse me, Rashida pulls who did I say? Is it Sierra? Did I write it down? I think she was talking to Sierra. No. She was talking to Yandy. I didn't write that down, but she was talking to Yandy. And she was basically saying how she hasn't been feeling well and insinuating that she's pregnant. And even though, you know, it's not a big deal because her and Kirk are open to having more kids. And I'm like, I'm so sick of y'all motherfuckers. I don't know what to do with myself. Didn't I tell y'all the first episode y'all was unsexy as hell and we don't want to see y'all sex, hear about it, think about it, none of that? Can you please stop it, Rashida? And why the entire fuck would you bless this ugly motherfucker with another child after he shits on you with the last one that you had, alleging that, oh, it wasn't even his, then turns around less than a year later and has another one on you, and you gonna sit up here in your old age, and you ain't old, but for a baby, your ass is old. You sitting up here willing to get this nigga another baby? Rashida, come close. Smack, smack. Period. Smack. If your old ass is pregnant again for that ugly motherfucker, whatever he got, whatever he give your ass moving forward, you deserve it. And I ain't felt sorry for your ass in a long time, but right now I'm sick of you, Rashida. I'm sick of you. Pour into to Carter. Pour into that other new baby he done brought around there. Work on fucking Frost Bistro. Get your ass a fucking IUD to menopause set in and go sit the fuck goddamn down somewhere. The fuck? Ew. So anyway, then we're back in Atlanta, and Jock is at the club that closed down because of the shooting. And him and his son basically come to blows. He swung on his son after throwing a chair through a glass because his son is basically being an honorary child. And again, we've already discussed the effects of, you know, not being there for your children and stuff like that. And I feel like it just came to a head because kids oftentimes think that they're grown. And Amani basically, because his dick gets hard and he probably fucks bitches, he thinks he's grown and him and his dad are on the same level. And Jock had to get up with his ass, remind him that they're not. And the child in him showed very, very strongly when security was pulling him away. He like, I didn't do nothing to that man. I didn't do nothing to him. And I was just cracking up, not at the situation because it was cringy, but at what he was saying, because that's something the child would say. I ain't even do nothing. After you just antagonize the fuck out this man, you're gonna turn around and be like, I ain't do nothing. But again, that shows that Jock is dealing with the child. So I think that he and his son should seek some therapy individually and collectively, and I think they'll be fine because his son doesn't seem like a lost cause to me. He just seems like a rebellious young black man, and but he does seem that he will listen to reason once he's in a good headspace. So y'all, that's all I got. I would like to tell y'all how proud of myself I am because again, I'm behind on these videos and I just knocked out 2 right now. So yes, I thank y'all for listening. Like I said, once I get my hair in order and everything, I'll be back on camera. I might just throw a scarf on or something next time. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all looking at my avatar and listening to me like I'm podcasting and whatnot on this episode. And I will be back soon enough with follow-up episode. And I have to get caught up on Love and Marriage Huntsville, as well as the last 2 weeks of Real Housewives of Potomac as well. And Gossip Girl, I really got to catch up because honestly, I kind of lost interest in that show, but I want to be dedicated to my fans. I got a lot of views on those videos, so people are obviously watching them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the people. So anywho, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. It's been real. Toodles.